So here's a very powerful savings account that only about 10% of Americans use as an investment vehicle, and that is the health savings account, or HSA. Your HSA can become an early retirement account if you understand how to maximize your investments. I want you to become the 10% of people who use HSA as a powerful investment vehicle, okay? And unlike the Roth IRA, there's no income limit to your HSA. There are two ways to contribute to your HSA, and one way is to come out directly out of your paycheck from your job. The other way is coming directly from your employer. Depending on your employer, they could give you a lump sum contribution at the beginning of the year or make small deposits every pay period. Having an employer contribution can help because it counts towards your personal contribution limit, unlike the 401k. If you're on a, let's say, family plan with a maximum contribution limit of $8,300 and your employer contributes $1,000 to your HSA plan in the same year, then you only need to contribute up to $7,300 because the contribution limit is a combination of both you and your employer. Once the money goes into your HSA, you actually have two separate pots of money inside your HSA. And one of them is in cash sitting in the HSA checking account, which is meant to be used to pay medical expenses. A lot of HSAs require you to have a minimum cash amount before you move it into your investment account. Some HSAs require you to have, like, say, $1,000, $1,500, and some may require you to have $2,000. And once you reach the minimum cash threshold, you can invest anything above that amount into the brokerage account. Some HSAs will have limited options for you to invest, but some HSAs like Fidelity, Schwab will give you a wide variety to choose from: individual stocks, ETFs, and mutual funds. But because HSA will grow tax-free, this is a great investment vehicle to invest in something that would be less tax efficient in a taxable brokerage account, because the dividends and capital gains will not be taxed under your HSA. And remember that the HSA contribution period is the same as the Roth IRA. For the tax year 2024, you can contribute $4,150 as a single individual or $8,300 for the family plan until the tax deadline on April 15, 2025. And starting on January 1st, 2025, you can contribute $4,300 as a single individual or $8,550 for the family plan until the tax deadline on April 15, 2026. If you're over the age of 55, you can contribute an extra $1,000. And here are the differences between an HSA and Roth IRA, and why I prioritize HSA first. The HSA allows you to make pre-tax contributions, which means it will lower your taxable income every year and potentially saving you hundreds, if not thousands, in federal and state income taxes every year. If you're a California or New Jersey resident, unfortunately, you're not going to get to reduce the state income tax deduction, but you will still get the federal income tax deduction, okay? But anyway, your employer could also give you a contribution to the HSA. You have to deduct the employer contribution, like I said earlier, from your personal contribution. There are no income limits, and you don't need to have an earned income to contribute to your HSA. You just need to be enrolled in a high deductible health plan. And if you directly contribute out of your paycheck, you get to skip out on the Social Security and Medicare taxes on the contributions. That's why I call the HSA a quadruple tax advantage account. When you start investing, your HSA will grow tax-free inside your HSA and reimburse yourself at any time as long as you have the medical receipts to provide proof of medical expenses. After age 65, you can use the HSA for anything and not owe the 20% penalty, but you will owe income taxes on the non-medical distributions. What's nice is that I get to use the HSA on Medicare premiums, deductibles, and copays when I'm 65. And what I cannot do is to contribute to the HSA and be enrolled in Medicare at the same time, right? And for the Roth IRA, the contributions have to be in after-tax dollars from your checking account. So if you compare it with the HSA, you don't get your taxes reduced from the contributions, but you do get to double your Roth IRA contributions in two separate accounts if you're married and filing your taxes jointly. With the Roth IRA, you don't get an employer match or employer contribution, but the investments inside the Roth IRA will also grow tax-free, just like the HSA. And when it comes to that withdrawal rule, The HSA is stricter than the Roth IRA because I need to provide proof of medical expenses in order for those withdrawals to be tax-free, right? But with the Roth IRA, I can withdraw what I contributed to the Roth IRA at any time, tax-free and penalty-free, without providing any justifications. I cannot do that with my HSA because it's in pre-tax dollars. What I cannot withdraw from my Roth IRA until I turn 59 and a half is the earnings and interest that accrued inside my Roth IRA. So for example, if I contributed $7,000 this year and earned $500 in dividends and earnings, then $7,000 is what I can withdraw at any time, tax-free and penalty-free. But $500 is what I have to wait until I turn 59 and a half. And the other thing to keep in mind is that if you use your HSA for any non-qualified medical expenses, the IRS will penalize you 20% and charge you both federal and state income taxes. If you take out the earnings of your Roth IRA before you turn 59 and a half, the IRS will penalize you 10% and charge you both federal and state income taxes. I hope the chart that I just showed you can clear things up when you try to compare a Roth IRA to an HSA when you're completely out of debt and have the cash reserve to cover any emergency expenses. Get your 401k employer match, max out your HSA, and max out your Roth IRA. You just let your investments do the rest, all right?